In a world of heightened security, keeping your home and business safe from fire, theft, and damage has never been more important than now. And in often cases, traditional security measures fall short. We recently caught up with Tom Conley, owner of the Conley Group, who has invented an entirely new process and a way you can look at security. It's a new process called remote viewing. Tom Conley, the CEO and president of the Conley Group, is no stranger to security. Tom is a certified protection professional recognized by the ASIS International, a certified fraud investigator, a certified protection officer instructor, a certified private investigator, and has been certified in Homeland Security. Tom is a former police captain and is a senior commissioned officer in the United States Navy Police, where he obtained over 40 military medals and awards, including 10 personal decorations. While in the Conley Group, Tom saw a better way to implement security, a much higher step above traditional security measures and at a price less than most corporations are currently paying for their security. Remote viewing was developed by Tom for this specific purpose.
Remote viewing is really a brand new way of doing business with respect to security. What remote viewing does is it combines the best of both worlds, meaning qualified people as well as electronics, to make a new system where somebody at a remote viewing operations center, what we call the RVOC, can virtually interact with regular systems as well as emergency systems at client locations. So in layman's terms, what the remote viewing solution is three pieces. There is a remote viewing operations center, and that's, if you will, the nerve center, where technical operators operate from. There is the on-site customer location, which is populated with electronics, whether it be electronic security measures, building monitoring, different types of systems. We can even do intercoms to let people in remotely if we need to. And then you would have the patrol officer who would periodically conduct tours and also respond to any problems there. Not only do you have eyes and ears on at all times, but the patrol officers also have ruggedized laptops in their cars, so they can also see and hear what's going on. We call that in-transit visibility. So as the patrol officer is responding to a condition at a client location, they're seeing exactly what the technical operator at the RVOC is seeing. We can also patch into public safety, so we can share the information with a fire department, police department, Homeland Security, if there's a threat in a building, so we can patch into them. So the concept is that that system replaces traditional guards in buildings.
With this remote viewing solution, what are you protecting?
Well, really, we're protecting the property, almost like an umbrella of protection. And the full domain awareness that we have really means that we monitor everything simultaneously, from the HVAC to the card access, to fire alarms, to burglar alarms, to hold-up alarms, to building conditions such as water pressure. The simple fact of the matter is that you can't be everywhere at once except with remote viewing. We can be everywhere at once and do it all well.
One concern, of course, is always cost. You had mentioned before that this is a process that actually is a cost-saving process as opposed to traditional services.
That's correct. One of the traditional problems, and I've been in this business more than 30 years, is that most traditional guard companies take a cost approach. And so the metric is who can be less of a cost center than somebody else. What remote viewing does is a couple things. Number one, it becomes a profit center for the company so that there's no cost center. And that goes back to taking the risk management approach. On average, remote viewing can save an estimated 50% on an organization's annual security expenditure. The great part is that you also get adequate security with that. So you've mitigated risks, you've gotten adequate security, you've reduced your liability, and you've increased operational effectiveness and efficiency exponentially, and you save money at the same time.
Now, if I had a security system already in place at my office, how would this integrate?
Well, the good news about our system is that it can integrate with the newest as well as the oldest equipment. There, of course, are a few exceptions to that, but most legacy systems can be used directly with remote viewing, which means that people don't have to replace their systems. We can piggyback on, integrate, and use those.
Tom, how does this program work, and are other people doing it?
Well, first of all, there's nobody else in the private sector doing it. The military, quite frankly, does it every day, and I've had a lot of experience, and that's where the idea came from. As you may know, the internet originally came from the military. It was a military-developed application so that there was no single point of failure. So we're really taking something that's very matured and extensively tested and adapting it to the private sector. So there's no other private companies that do it anywhere. And candidly, because of the quality of our security officers and our technical operators, it's not something that would be a good fit for traditional guard companies to do, because there is nobody on whole on site. So that's where it becomes really important that everybody needs to be trained, and they need to really be squared away to make sure the system works.
As a company owner myself, why would I want to start using this remote viewing?
Well, that's a great question, and it goes back to the fundamentals of risk management. Simply put, the organization may have traditional security guards, they may have electronics, but nobody has really taken a systemic look at the security to understand why those measures are there and if they really address the threats and the risks that exist. So the basis we start out at with remote viewing is doing a risk analysis of properties to really identify risks so that the client isn't spending any more than they have to achieve an adequate level of security. And that's where remote viewing really stands out on its own, is the system is able to do that far more economically and far better than any other system.
Remote viewing is a new way to look at security for your business. It provides you with state-of-the-art electronics, highly trained and professional security personnel, the ability to see and hear with your business and keep it safe from intrusion and damage. And remote viewing can save you up to 50% of the cost of your annual security budget each and every year. Remote viewing is the future of corporate security, and it's here now. For more information on remote viewing and to see how remote viewing can work for your company, contact the Conley Group.